reload it on my phone too.
I'm like, can you hear me? Am I live? Did we just lose everyone who was here? We had like 18 people here too, which sucks. I feel like the chat was picking up. Hello. Can you hear us? Oh, I hope they can hear us.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. Why? Hi guys, can you hear us? I feel like such a I feel like I'm like a mom trying to communicate with my kids via Zoom.
Hi, can you hear
I'm like,
us?
hi,
Oh, they can
hello?
hear us.
Oh,
Good.
thank goodness. Okay, we can hear. Yay! Okay, we fixed it. Oliver really was the main man behind it. He's our IT guy, so we just call him in when we need it.
He's very sleepy.
It sounds good now. Okay, good. Hey, buddy. Hello. I love you too. Okay, hi. So I think we got the sound fixed. Oh, this makes me feel so much better. Okay, hi. So book. Do you want to give your initial thoughts first, and then go from there?
Well, for anybody who this is their first time here, we read House of Earth. Oh my God, I can never remember.
It's right here. I have it. House of Earth.
House of Earth and Blood, and it's the Crescent City series.
Yes.
Okay. So today, don't bite me. Today we were supposed to read chapters 5 through 15.
Yes.
That's it, right? I mean,
yeah, and usually this chat kind of devolves into just talking about books.
Yeah.
So even if you haven't read the book and you just want to like hear us talk, I mean, we're good with that as well. So if you guys just want to talk about general like book preferences and stuff, that was a fun conversation last time. So
people are still on the old one. Sorry.
I hope it's canceled. I think it is, but
I liked these chapters. I know that they introduced a bunch of new characters, but he's tired.
I know.
I know they introduced a bunch of new characters, but I liked it. I think I have a new favorite character.
Who's your new favorite character?
I really like Hunt.
Which one is that?
He is the
prince.
No, that's her brother. I like her brother too.
I like the prince
Hunt
a lot.
is the angel he's like the badass lightning angel.
Who is trying to pay off his servitude right now. Yeah, he's cool too. Hunt is my favorite. He's the death and helmet. Got it. Okay. Yeah, Hunt is awesome. Yeah, I did find these past few chapters to be a tiny bit overwhelming in the sense that a lot of characters were getting thrown at us, but I think we're still because the book is so long, because it's like 98 chapters.
Yeah.
I think because it's so long, they're like really building the base level for us right now, and we're still in like the building phase of everything.
Yeah.
And I think 14 and 15 were like just kind of starting to get into like the plot of what's actually going to happen.
Juliet says, do you like the style she writes in? You know, for the most part, I do.
Yeah.
There's some things I don't really like. Like a lot of it is like, I'm still getting that vibe of like, it's not a kid's book, so I'm going to be edgy.
I would agree with that.
You know, it was okay.
I also do feel like, though, it is like an interesting concept. Yeah. And I think she writes she's writing a very interesting concept. Like, I'm very interested
into this a lot more. Abigail said, I found the hierarchies confusing. Yeah, I think that's one of those things. I don't think we're ever going to get a clear picture of that, really. No. I think it's kind of like we'll have to just kind of pick stuff up from context as we go along. Yeah, you got them. But like the angels, I kind of, so from what I've picked up, it seems like there's the Asteri, which are like the gods, right? Yeah. And then under them is archangels, and then under the archangels is regular angels, and then all the other Fae races are considered like below that. So I think like
I also find it kind of confusing though, because I think it's just like, again, kind of what Mal is saying, like just a lot of information. You know,
it is a lot of information.
Yeah. But, I feel like there was a lot of Does anybody else think she's going to go through the drop and be uber powerful?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They're definitely leading up to that.
Because I guess I can't really say spoilers because everyone's should have read up to chapter 15.
Well, hopefully.
So we know now who her father is.
Yeah.
He's the star. What is his name? The star. He's the head of the Fae.
Yeah.
And her brother is like super powerful. So that makes me think that she is going to be super powerful.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Now, one other thing that I found was interesting. So last time we did this, people were saying, I think Mal was saying it, and there was one other person, I'm sorry if I don't remember your name, that was saying that they thought Danica was going to have like a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we didn't know about and that the main character didn't know about. Turns out that's right, because she knew the vampire.
Yeah.
Right?
There's some like definitely like I think Oliver. There's definitely going to be some like more stuff to come off with that though too. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Abigail says, does anyone else think she's going through the? It was more the government stuff. Yeah, the government stuff is kind of weird. So I think the government.
No, go ahead.
I think it works the same way. Like the Asteri each oversee like parts of the land. So like think like a king. I don't know who the king would be in the situation, but and like dukes. So the Asteri oversee certain parts of like the land, and then the archangels are like governors within those parts. And then serving under the archangels, there's a lot of different factions. So like how there was like the House of Bones and the House of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think those people are like technically under the jurisdiction of the archangels, but are like strong. And like the Fae King, I think he's kind of like just like the head of a clan. You know what I mean?
Well, I also think too, there's definitely two very distinct.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I think there's two very distinct like plots happening right now, kind of like parallel to each other. And I'm definitely very interested to see how they connect in the end. Because I like when things like that happen.
Yeah. Your cast is off.
Oh yeah, my cast is off. You're going to see, I have a video going live where it's off too.
It got cut off yesterday.
Talk about it. Yeah, it's off. It's my arm's also super, super messed up though. Like my arm is like, it's got like really bad, like dry skin and like scarring on it right now. So hopefully that goes away.
So do you guys ever like when you're reading a book, I don't know if this is just me, but for whatever reason, it doesn't matter how they describe the characters. I always pull images into my brain from like other media sources.
What do you
mean?
Like,
the whole time I was reading Game of Thrones, which I read it before the series, the show was out.
Read it before it was cool.
I literally just could not think of Daenerys as anything other than Princess Zelda. So like I get those pictures stuck in my head. For some reason, I have what?
It's just funny you mentioned that.
Have you guys seen My Hero Academia? You've seen it.
I have, but on top of that, I will say I visualize Danica as like Jessica Jones. Like that's actually who I see as Danica is like Jessica Jones.
And I forget his name, the number 2 hero who's now the number 1 hero after All Might lost his power. But like he is for some reason in my brain as the Star King, the Fae King. Like he's so stuck in my head. And then oh my God, I'm so bad with names, but the ice and fire guy is how I pictured Danica's brother.
And then the movie comes out and you're disappointed. Yeah. Like, and then they show you who the characters look like in their minds and you're like, whoa.
What is his name? Overdrive? I gotta look.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. There's a few characters. And weirdly, I guess you wouldn't know the show reference. But there's this woman in Grey's Anatomy who's like one of the doctors. She's Dr. Avery. She's Dr. Avery's mother. And that's who I picture. Endeavor. That's who I picture as the Enchantress.
I can't.
You're not holding it. You got to hold it lower. There you go.
I can't not picture Endeavor as the Fae King.
Oh, really?
Endeavor is who I meant. Yeah. He's like stuck in my brain. I think it's because he's a dick to his son. So it's like the same trope, but.
He is definitely rude as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Also, I kind of like can you get up a list of character names? Because
I tried to find one and I can't find it. So but it's too new of a book.
The main character's brother, the prince. Yeah, Oliver's just like, can you guys just let me know?
I know. He just wants to go to sleep.
Oliver's the main character's brother. It's kind of funny to me that he's just like a eternal like edgelord. Like he's a hard rock guy, but like he's lived for like 2,000 years.
Yeah.
So he's just like an edgelord who never grew up.
I would agree with that too. Yeah, I think it's fun. I do that a lot though, like actors for the story. That's kind of what I do too.
Oh.
I think that Rua and Bryce will work together to try and keep it from the king, their father. I feel like Ruin will get more in-depth description. I would agree with that too. Yeah. I can't create a face, so I have to imagine someone I already can visualize in my head. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. I can't like imagine a brand new person. It's like, but I definitely. How do you picture Bryce though?
Bryce, the main character.
Yeah.
Well, I actually, I don't have like a clear view of her in my head yet.
I feel like she's blonde. I don't know why.
I think it says she's got like brown hair.
But I think she's blonde in my head. Like, I don't know. I know they describe characters, but recap on where we are at in the story.
Clues. I like that name.
That is cute.
do
Basically,
you want me to do it?
Yeah. Well, I feel like you can say it more concise than I can.
Not too much has happened.
Oh, she's a redhead. Interesting.
Yeah. So not too much has happened weirdly, like story-wise. It's more like character development and plot development, but not a lot of big events have happened. So in the first at the end of chapter 5, Danica's friends, the wolves, get killed. And then like we do a little chapter with, I forget the guy's name, but the angel who technically is in charge of Hunt, but like used to be under him in the old wars. Get like a POV of him as like a detective. And then it skips ahead 2 years. So it's like 2 years have passed, and now another murder happens of a vampire who his dad is really powerful, I guess. And now they're like putting together a team at the order of the governor of the city to find that killer.
And they're finding there's a lot of correlations between the vampire murder and Danica's and the Wolfpack's murder.
Yeah.
So that's why they're asking Bryce to help, and they're getting all of these people involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also this subplot of like there's a war kind of going on
in the background.
Yeah, like in the background of all of this, there's a lot of political stuff happening.
I almost feel like it's going to be kind of
in the horn, like the whole thing about the horn.
Yeah, we finally got the horn of it. We finally know what the horn is now.
Kind of, though.
By the way,
I think they're not telling the full honest. There's definitely more to the horn than what they're saying, like for sure.
Danica, you all right, bud?
He's okay. He's just yawning.
Danica is looking for the horn. I think she's looking for it to get back at her father.
Low-key.
Because her father talks about the horn, and we've known from the beginning that Danica's okay. You want to just get down?
Here,
he doesn't. He wants to sleep.
I know. He wants to sleep.
Which book is this? Sorry, out of the loop. So we're reading
House of Earth and Blood.
House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. Maas.
Yeah, I think it's Maas. Whoever mentioned their tattoos and that it might come out of that bodies will be missing, and it wasn't really Danica's. I think that is a really good idea. Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
Yeah, there's something deeper going on with Danica.
For sure. That's not the end of her like dying. Also, her mom's behavior was so sus after
Sabine.
That was so sketchy how she was acting in the police station.
Did your assumptions of the last live stream came true? So some of the ones that you guys made came true. The predictions that you made. Mel says, do you think the person who killed the wolves and the vampires is someone we already met? No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
I kind of think it could be.
Really?
Like a plot twist.
If it is somebody we met, it's
Danica.
But I that seems too simple. So I feel like it's going to be somebody we haven't met.
Maeve has a theory. Maeve says, I have a theory. I think maybe the angel she saved was Micah, the governor, but it said his face was too beaten to recognize, but he had white wings when that's such a good point.
That's a really
We're both
theory.
Like
or maybe somebody related to Micah.
Yeah. I could totally see that.
Man, Micah's supposed to be a badass.
Remember when she called on the phone and they tracked the number and they were like, oh shit, this is super bad. Like that would make perfect sense if it was Micah. Oh, that's so interesting.
That is a good theory.
Wow, that's a really good way to pick up on that. Maybe. I kind of forgot about that actually a little bit, like the whole angel attack thing that happened. And they freaked out when they heard the phone number, they like lost their mind. So that would make perfect sense, I feel like. Wow. That was a really good one. Now I'm thinking about that. And that's why maybe he wants to that would connect the dots of why he wants to bring Bryson too.
Yeah, Abigail brings up a good point and says like, and why are they bringing everything together to find the creature? I kind of agree with that because it doesn't like the guys. Micah's the governor, right?
Yeah.
Micah, his explanation didn't make sense of like why he was like, "Oh, I just don't want the other archangels to know about it because then the Asteria will get mad at me."
And the fact that he gave the other angel, the badass one, is like working off of your new favorite. The fact that he gave him the shorter sentence. He was like, "Oh, you only have to kill 10 people."
Well, he didn't say 10 people. He said 10 missions.
I wonder if it's because he was like there that night or something happened. I don't know.
Oh, that Micah was? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting though.
It was interesting when they were describing the demons and like the one being from the pit, because I was like, it kind of makes more sense now how that he could kill like a powerful fae creature like that if he was like a super strong demon.
Yeah.
Kelsey says, for some reason I have a feeling Micah might end up being the ultimate bad guy. I'm kind of getting those vibes too, but I feel like it's too early to tell because he could just be a dick, you know? He could just be like a jerk. Another kind of way too soon prediction. It could also be
the sorcerer woman.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like she's not a good person. The witch.
What's the guy? Star King, Endeavor. What the heck is his name? The main character's father, Bryce's father, because
he wants to go.
His whole thing is like, oh, Oliver.
I know.
His whole thing was like, well, we need to improve the position of the fae creatures, and like, what better way to do that than like kill one of the shifters? Because the shifters, I don't think, are part of the fae. They're a separate like unit. So he killed the future leader of the shifters, and also in this chapter, he was talking about how the future leader of the sorceress of the witches, the witch queen, died, and he's trying to marry his son to that girl. Doesn't it seem like all these other powerful people are dying, but like the heir to the fae throne isn't?
Ooh, that's interesting. I feel like the person that Hunt hates will end up being caught up in this.
Yeah. Wait, the person he hates, like his ex lover / general archangel who's in charge of him's sister.
I think that's who they're talking about.
I forget what her name was. It started with an S.
I also want to know what the fight between Rune and Bryce that drove them apart.
Well, yeah, I feel like it's just going to be trivial, like
bullshit.
Brother, like bullshit. Like, oh, well, that's why I'm the one who you're not good enough to be whatever. I don't know.
I'm also expecting Hunt and Bryce to have some of that cringe sex that was mentioned.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Not excited about that at all, though.
I'm not looking forward to that part.
No.
But there's definitely a lot of cringe. Not even cringe, because it's like, yeah, but you're reading by yourself. It's not like I don't get embarrassed. It's just like,
it's definitely not as cringe. It's more just like you can tell that this is the first time you can tell she's trying to. It's like when Miley Cyrus like split from Disney and tried to overcompensate that she was like being like a bad girl and like not Disney brand anymore. It's like she's trying to differentiate the two brands, but I think she's just trying a little bit too hard.
Kelsey C said, I just joined, so maybe I missed this, but what do you guys think about the part where the Oracle says that Rune is the end of the bloodline?
Do you remember that? When he was walking out of after having the fight with his dad, he was walking out and the Oracle was like, the bloodline ends with you, right after they had the argument about the arranged marriage. I didn't know what to think about that.
I missed that part.
I also didn't really know what to think about it, just because it was like, I don't know. It seems like that's going to be true, but it's like, I don't know what's going to come of that to make that happen.
Yeah.
It definitely seemed like a little hint at a plot that was going to be going down like later in the book.
Yeah.
That was that's a good detail though. I kind of like gazed over that. Sex scenes in fantasy books tend to be really cringe though.
Yeah. I don't really like them either. I don't know. It's not, I don't know. If it adds to the plot, sure. But I feel like, I don't know. That's not what I'm reading for,
I think it means he'll help end the hierarchy. He does seem very against it.
Yeah, he does seem to not like it.
So he might die and Bryce will continue the bloodline, but then it wouldn't be the full.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
Now, one thing that I think is going to be interesting is I feel like there are some parallels here between this and, I know we talked about it last time too, but the Hunger Games. Because there's a strong female And then there's like an edgy, strong male.
Yep.
And then there's like a kind of a dick, but like, okay, strong male. And 2 of them grew up together. And then, so like, I feel like in Hunger Games, how do I want to say this? Like the first book was kind of unrelated to the plot of the rest of the story. Because like the first book was the actual Hunger Games. And then in the second and third books, you figure out like, oh, there's this resistance happening. There's District whatever, District 12?
13.
13. All this stuff happening in the background. And here we've kind of got that same thing. Because we've got like, okay, here's what's happening this time. There's the investigation. And in the background, there's like this major war going on.
So you think the next, because this is the first in a series, right? So you think the next couple of books are going to be more about the war and the resistance, where we're not going to get that.
Heavily focus on the investigation. At the end of which we find out like the Asteri are the bad guys, and then the next couple books will be on.
I really do hope that this doesn't end in a cliffhanger, though, because if this book ends in a cliffhanger, I hate when series
Maeve says, totally agree. The scope will expand as we go on. Yeah, I think so.
I hate when they don't, like, you know what I mean? I hate when they end in cliffhangers and then I have to wait. Oh, Allie said, how do I join book club? You just read the book, and then you can come here every Saturday. We'll just chat about it. It's nothing too serious, just kind of chilling. I hate when series have cliffhangers. I don't mind like a mystery that makes you want to read the second book, but like the second book of Mockingjay, was it Mockingjay? No, it was the second book of the Hunger Games going into the third book where Peeta like strangled her. Like that was a great cliffhanger because like everything, other things had like tied, like loose ends had been tied and everything. But then, what are you doing? Oh, trying to get him to be comfy. All the loose ends had been tied, but there was still like one crazy thing that we didn't have an answer to. But I feel like sometimes in like books, there's cliffhangers where it's like nothing was figured out and you just have to wait forever to find out the answers. And that's, like that. Like that is annoying to me. My little wiggler.
You want to be a baby?
I think he does want to be held like a baby. It makes me not want to read the next one. Yeah, I just get annoyed by it. Like I understand having some like draw. Okay. Why don't you put him on the ground and see if or does he want to be up?
He wants to be up, but he just can't get comfy.
He wants to go to sleep. I wish we had a dog bed in here, but.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They keep mentioning the war overseas, so that might come over to them. That's definitely going to be a part of the next book.
So, Allie, the book is, what is it here?
House of Earth and Blood.
By Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, it's really good. They make it a massive cliffhanger to make you buy the next one, though, rather than having an overarching story. Yeah, I would agree.
Abigail says, I love your puppy.
Aw, we love him, too.
He's been a pain the past couple days, though.
He's not really been a pain. I think
he's eaten a lot of stuff he's not supposed to.
He has done that. I think he's just stuck inside too much because it's been raining here, so we haven't been able to walk him. And I think he's just getting a little like, he just wants to like get out.
Alex says, how did I? Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. He just had a toy that it wasn't like he bit through it way too much. He ended up swallowing a little piece of it, and we're just waiting for it to come out through his poop, and it's been stressing us out because we're like, Oliver, please pass this toy. Minor detail: are we thinking Bryce's tattoo is in investigation, and then something really bad will happen in the background? I feel as if this will be something to distract Bryce.
Yeah.
Also, on top of that, how does everybody feel? I thought it was really interesting the way that other characters view Bryce versus her more internal monologue that she has going on. Yeah, because
everybody else talks about her like she's a bad bitch.
Yeah, like she's like
she hates herself.
Inside, like everybody's like this typical party girl who's just crazy, and it's like, and then it switches over to her perspective, and she's like, and I breathe in the oil infuser that I bought right after she died to try to kill the depression I had inside, and it's just
that's like kind of her coping mechanism.
It's interesting to see the way that the outside world views her versus how she views herself. Like, I think that's a really interesting and fun thing to read. Like, I enjoy that dynamic a little bit because I think it's kind of fun. Has he gotten into makeup yet? No, thankfully. He's pretty good about that. I also keep my makeup away though, so.
Yeah.
I'm used to cliffhangers.
Me too.
Rick Riordan. I think they will focus on the investigation.
No, don't do it.
How did I miss this? What is the podcast I've been listening? Yeah, the podcast. What is he doing? He's trying to get out. Can you go? I'll go get him.
I got to fill time all by myself. Yeah, we talked about it in the podcast for a little bit. We plan on doing this like every week. Trying to read a little bit every week. Just, I don't know. I figured it was something to do. People want to talk to each other. You know, it gives us a thing that we can talk about. I don't know. Have you guys read the Dresden Files? I haven't, but it's one of my brother's favorite books. So it's in my list. I will read it eventually. Sounds cool. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Do you have new favorite characters now that we've met a ton more people? Anybody? I don't know how far. I'm not used to doing this without Hannah. I don't know how far behind the chat is. James Marsters does the audiobook. Are you talking about Dresden Files? I'll have to add it to my list. I'm moving through my list pretty quick now because oh, here we go. Hunt is my favorite. I like Hunt a lot. Yeah. Syrinx is my favorite. Is Syrinx, I don't remember who that is. Is she the Syrinx? She is the other archangel, right? Syrinx? Or no, Syrinx is Syrinx the Chimera? I'm so bad with names.
We both are.
And you know what doesn't help either is we both, yeah, the Chimera. There was a really funny part in there with the Chimera where they were like, oh yeah, he bit me on the ass and teleported away.
I put Oliver in his bed.
Okay.
Just to chill. I think he just wants to sleep.
Yeah, he's tired. He's really, he had a weird night last night. He got up at like 3 a.m.
He's in his toddler phase, so he's just doing his little toddler thing. But
who would you say your favorite character is now?
I still really like Bryce.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. I just think I like that internal monologue she has. I think it's interesting.
As is typical with pretty much every book I've read, the main character is my least favorite character.
Yeah, he usually doesn't like the main.
I don't really like Bryce. She's all right. I don't hate her. It's just
I'm just interested. I'm the type of person that is just more interested in the main characters. You know what I mean?
And I'm more interested in the story in general.
Yeah, like I like to hear the main. My whole reason for reading books is like to read the character and their story and what's going on with them. Whereas I feel like you like the world and the concepts and everything. You know what I mean? For example, in Harry Potter, I don't like Harry. Harry's kind of annoying.
I'm with you on that.
We did a video.
Bold statement. Harry Potter's a fuckboy.
We did a ranking video on my channel where we like ranked Harry Potter characters, and he was literally like in the video. He's like, "Yeah, Harry Potter's kind of a fuckboy." So
yes, I hate Harry Potter. I like the book. I like other characters. Yeah. Harry is just the worst.
Harry's not great. He's definitely not the best.
Yeah, I don't know. I tend to like anti-heroes more than heroes. Although Bryce is kind of an anti-hero, but my biggest problem with her right now is she doesn't have anything going on for her other than like
But I think there's
trauma.
But I think
it's like
I know, but I like that, and I also think there's going to be more to it. Like I think the more the book develops, the more she's going to develop. And I also like oh, hi Kayla. I also like the fact that like she is a character that's like comfortable with her sexuality and comfortable with being this like sexy person and comfortable, you know what I mean? Like I like that. I like that it's not just like I feel like a lot of times in books you see female characters being a lot more modest, and like she talks about the fact that she like is a sexual person. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I like that. I think it's refreshing to see in books, especially because a lot of times in fantasy it's not like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, honestly, I think a big part of it is when fantasy novels are written by men versus when they're written by women.
I would agree. I think because it's written by a woman, it's just a stronger character in my opinion.
The only male author I can think of that I've read off the top of my head that I really like their female characters is Sanderson.
I would agree with that. Is Hannah more character-based book and Charles more plot-based book?
Yes.
I would agree with that.
Now, don't get me wrong. I have characters I really like, but in fantasy, I tend to be more interested in like.
And I don't really love ensemble books. I don't love books that have a ton of different characters. You know what I mean?
See, I feel like I've got them down conceptually now. I don't know their names yet.
Yeah, but I know the characters.
It's hard for me to remember names because we listen to the audiobooks.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not putting those two pieces like audio and sight together.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I need to check out Sanderson by the sounds of it.
Please.
Yeah.
My favorite author.
I gave up on Sarah J. Maas a while ago. Just other sci-fi and fantasy authors I prefer. But I like listening to you guys, so I'm here for that. Oh, thank
good,
you.
Ruthie.
I mean, it's really cool. Just on a side note, it's really cool that we have 36 people here, which is way more than we thought we would for the book club. So thank you guys for participating with us on this, because we know it's kind of going to be a weird, awkward, slow start, but we're having a lot of fun doing it. And I think it's fun for us too to be reading the same book and get to talk about it and things like that.
I ordered Skyward for your recommendation.
So
yes,
good.
It's so good. That was the book I was thinking about.
Yeah, where it's a strong female character.
That is pretty good.
She's a great, strong female character. She's
Mistborn is another one by him that has a strong female character. She doesn't start out that way.
I didn't love Mistborn.
There's some good character.
I can't get into Mistborn is the problem. It's too I think I gotta. It's I can't read it.
I love seeing people are reading our books. Yeah, especially Imagine.
It's a good one.
That's that's also written by a man. It has some very complex, realistic characters. There's pansexual people in there.
That's what I was just about to say.
There's people who don't identify with a certain gender. There's, I don't know. There's a lot of
He does a good job writing characters that
What is the guy's name?
I don't remember who
Michael
it was.
Something.
He was great though. How many books in the series Skyward? So far, there's only 2.
There's only 2.
But I think there's going to be a 3rd. And we had to wait a year for the second one to come out.
Yeah.
And I had it in my calendar. I was literally, we listened to the entire second book with that book. It was so good. The second book is also so different from the first one, which is really interesting. A total 180 from the issues of the first one.
The interesting, Andrew Rowe is the guy who wrote Fishing and Friends. The interesting thing one thing that I like about Sanderson is that he is very he keeps his fans updated on when his books are coming out.
Yes.
And he sticks to a pretty consistent. Yeah.
Hi, Mia. Haven't read the book. I'm here just to hang out with Hannah. Aw, your videos always make me smile. Thank you.
Yeah,
I love that you guys are all here to hang. This is so fun.
Now let me ask you this.
Yes.
Would you read another Sarah J. Maas book?
Yes.
See, I don't think I would.
I would.
Even though I'm enjoying this.
I would read
the
the second book to this series.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would.
Do you mean besides that?
Would you start a new series with her? I don't know if I would.
Well, aren't they all young adult books too, though?
Yeah.
So
Julie says no too. That seems to be the vibe. Everyone seems like they're I'm not really into it. But it's weird because this book has sold so well, and it was on all the top lists.
I'm not sure I would read another series, but I'd probably not start a new series. Yeah, I'm not it's okay, but it's not
Jamie P said they already finished the book.
Oh my gosh.
Man, don't spoil anything,
it.
Okay? Because we're only on chapter 16.
I would not recommend it. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I was only reading for one character. Yeah, I don't think I'd read another book by her. I'd continue this series because I like the characters and I like the plot, but I don't think I would read another book by her by choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her writing is not the best, in my opinion. It's not the most amazingly well-written piece of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Piece of literature.
Abigail says, I'm finding it really hard to stop at the chapter you say. I actually read half of chapter 16.
I know.
Because I was oh man, I was really feeling it. I was cooking. I don't even remember what I was cooking, but I was really into it. And I was no, I got to stop and switch over to my other book.
Yeah. So. I listened to my audiobooks on 2 times speed. So I procrastinated reading this last 10 chapters until yesterday and today. So I was eating lunch today and I was listening to it on 2 times speed and he was making fun of me.
I cannot listen to books on 2 times speed.
It sounds normal to me.
I don't know how you can process things that fast.
It's sad. It sounds normal. Mistborn takes a little while to get into. For the first book, it's a bit of a grind, I think, anyway. But once you're past that, dang, hooked for life.
Yeah.
I just got to get past that first book.
It also doesn't help. We do most of our... Don't get me wrong. When I was younger, I used to read all the time. Mm-hmm. But now I don't have time to sit down and read a book really anymore. So audiobooks are nice because I can do... I can cook and listen to it. I can listen while I'm eating, while I'm driving, whatever.
Yeah.
And
especially because... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the narrator for... Mistborn.
I hate him.
You hate him.
I hate him.
He's
so
one
much.
of my favorite narrators of all time.
He puts me to sleep. Whenever he tries to put on that narrator on long car trips, I literally am starting to fall asleep. I can't do it. Doesn't everyone sound like a chipmunk? No, it's weird. It really does not sound. If you put it on 3 times speed, everybody sounds like a chipmunk.
I was like, I didn't get the context.
If you put it on 3 times speed, everybody kind of sounds like a chipmunk. But 2 times speed is like for the
Your sister reads on like 4 times.
I know,
speed, doesn't she?
She does. For the
it
first,
blows my mind.
I know. For the first like 2 seconds of you listening to it, it sounds so fast, but then your brain kind of just adjusts to it. I tend to listen to true crime podcasts while I'm doing stuff. Yeah, like I had for a while when I was commuting to school before we switched to online. I had like a 45-minute drive to school, so it was really nice to have audiobooks to listen to because it makes the drive go by faster, and it also was just like I was able to still be reading without having to actually sit down with a book. We're big Audible people.
Yeah.
If Audible wants to sponsor us.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Just give us credits.
Unless.
We just want credits.
All right, let me figure out what we should read.
We use up all our credits way too quickly. I just discovered The Murder Squad, and I've run out of my favorite murder and wine and crime. Oh, I heard My Favorite Murder is really good. I think I've listened to that one before. I also listened to Small Town Murder. That was one of my favorites for a really long time. I can't listen to murder podcasts like too much though. I have to like give myself a mental break every now and again because if I listen to them too much, I start getting horrific anxiety. So, do you ever stop reading a book, don't read a book, even though you want to, solely because the narrator, voice, and acting? Yes.
I usually push through.
I can't. I hate people with bad. I did a little bit of like voice stuff when I was a kid. So whenever I hear people like who are horrible at it, and because I did acting and stuff, like when I hear people that are horrible at it, it's so hard for me to get through it.
Michael Kramer is who Hannah really doesn't like, but I have read so many, I've listened to so many books that he's narrated that he's like my favorite guy now.
Just a heads up, we have to sign off in about 3 minutes just because I have to get to, yes.
Oh, well, let's pick
because I have to get to my Zoom class.
Okay.
So I feel really bad to end it this abruptly because I feel like we're having a good conversation, but I do have to go.
So how would we feel?
Would you want to do like more chapters?
I was going to say.
Do you want to push yourself?
How would we feel about, so we're on we should be starting chapter 16 right now.
Yes.
How would we feel about going all the way through 37 and finishing part 2?
How would you guys
It'd be
feel?
21 chapters.
That's a lot of chapters.
Is that too much for a week?
And if it's too much, tell us. Like, be honest, because we won't. But I know we get through them really quick because we have nothing else to do because we're stuck at home. But if other people think that's too much, we could definitely adjust it. That's actually not a bad idea, though, getting through part 1. The thing about this book we're realizing is it's okay. The more the better. Dope. The thing we're realizing is because this book is so long, if we only do like 10 chapters at a time, we're going to be doing this for like 3.5 months, this book.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to be able to move on to another book too.
Some of the chapters are small.
Yeah, some of them are only like, 10 minutes to get through. So have a good Zoom class, do more. So we're saying what? Finish, get to part 2, part 3, basically.
So when you get to part 3, stop.
Chapter 37.
At the end of chapter 37. So after 37, it goes part 3, the canyon.
That's what we get to.
And then stop there.
All right. Sounds good. And I'll leave all that information in the link.
Well, we did a shorter one today.
We had to. Well, we started late. We had the sound issues and then, but well, thank you guys so much. We had a lot of fun doing this and I'm excited for next week. We can like chat with you guys more. I'm really excited. Anything you want to add? Any predictions before we go? Final predictions?
Final predictions. I think that by the end of chapter 3, I got nothing.
Chapter 3? By
the end of part 2, I got nothing.
I think there's going to be a bomb dropped at the end of part 2.
I feel like we've talked about,
But I think it's going to be Danica. You know what I mean? Like, I think Danica.
No, that's the end of the book.
I think it's going to be in the middle.
That's not even the middle. That's only a third way
I think it's going to happen. I think Danica is going to become like the villain by the end of the book.
Abigail says same time next week.
Yes.
I believe so.
5 p.m. EST works for us. So we'll see what happens. All right. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it.
Podcast next Friday.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And a podcast next Friday. Hopefully not at 11:59 before it turns to Saturday.
Sorry that we are so bad at uploading them.
First of all,
we just got real busy.
Well, and what happened was we did the audio and it turned out that there was like a metronome clicking in the background of the audio. So I had to go in and take the metronome out and re-download all of the audio. And it just ended up being kind of a mess. So it took forever to export and upload. And like it was a mess, but all right,
bye for real this time.
We'll see you later.
End stream.